Imagine a bright, blazing summer day, a day when one small act of kindness turns everything upside down. Picture a humble girl with a heart as big as the sky who finds herself in a moment of great danger. In a rush of water, in the middle of a crowd, she sees a man in trouble and jumps into a challenge that would change her life forever. This is the story of a poor girl who saves a drowning man, a man who later turns out to be a rich CEO. It is a story about bravery, chance, and how a simple act of care can spark an entire chain of wondrous events. In a small town by a wide flowing river, there lived a girl named Lily. Lily did not have much in the way of money or fancy things. She lived life very simply. Every morning she rose with the sun, her little feet carrying her along dusty paths toward her daily chores. Even though her clothes were plain and her home modest, there was a light in her eyes, a spark that told everyone she was brave and kind. This town was not known for grand buildings or deep riches. Instead, it had gentle people and quiet streets where children played and neighbors greeted each other with warm smiles. Near the town, a river flowed gently, but on some days the water turned wild and choppy, full of surprises and danger. On one such hot day, the river would soon become the stage for the most unexpected twist in Lily's life. On that sunny afternoon, Lily walked near the river to fetch some water for her family. The river sparkled under the clear blue sky, and soft breezes made the leaves dance. Yet something did not seem right. A small group of people had gathered by the riverbank, their faces etched with worry. In the middle of the excitement, a man was caught in the roaring water. The river, usually calm and kind, had turned fierce. The man, caught in a strong current, was struggling to stay afloat. The man's hands moved weakly as the water pushed him this way and that. Although he looked like any other man in a suit, his true identity was hidden among the ripples and foam. At that moment, the sound of rushing water and the quiet cries for help filled the air. When Lily saw the danger, her heart skipped a beat. Without a second thought, she dashed toward the water, determined to help. Picture this, a simple act that requires great courage. Lily did not stop to worry about the cold water or the fast current. Instead, she remembered lessons she had seen in simple safety posters that said, "When someone is in trouble, act quickly and calmly." With every step she took, her feet pounded the soft earth, and her determination grew stronger. Even though the river was wild that day, she knew that kindness and a brave heart were stronger than fear. Lily threw herself into the water. The river was strong that day, and the cold waves made her shiver, but she kept moving. Every stroke was a battle against the current. In her mind, she remembered that water, like life, sometimes pushes us hard. But if we keep our focus, we can overcome any force. Her arms pushed against the water as she swam toward the struggling man. As Lily neared the man, she saw that he was barely conscious, his face pale with fear. It was not just a simple swim, it was a life-saving mission. With careful but strong movements, she reached the man and placed her arms around him. The water around them swirled like giant fingers, trying to pull them apart, yet Lily fought against it. She used every bit of strength in her small frame to pull the man toward the safety of the bank. During these moments, basic ideas of water rescue came into play. Even without fancy equipment, Lily's actions followed simple rules that lifeguards learn. For instance, keeping one's head above water and moving steadily in a safe direction are key ideas that help save lives. Though she was untrained in any fancy rescue skills, her natural instincts told her what to do. It was as if nature had given her a secret lesson on how to fight the river's power with a pure heart and steady hands. The water splashed around them like a playful yet determined friend. Even in this dangerous moment, there was something almost magical about Lily's bravery. Imagine when you try something hard, like learning a new game, and you finally get it right after many tries. That feeling of triumph, mixed with a little fear and a lot of joy, is exactly what Lily showed on that day. Step by step, with every breath and every stroke, Lily dragged the man closer to the bank. Onlookers gasped and cheered as she managed to get him onto the soft grass. The man was still unconscious at first, but as the warmth of the sun and Lily's gentle care touched him, his eyes slowly opened. The entire crowd felt a deep sigh of relief. Lily sat next to the man, gently resting his head on her shoulder until he was strong enough to sit up on his own. In that quiet moment by the riverbank, the power of one brave soul was on full display. It was a clear example of how simple human kindness can beat even the mightiest of natural forces. Even though the man had always seemed like a stranger at first, the real surprise was yet to come. No one knew in that crowded moment that the man was not just any man. As the helpers arrived to take him to a safe place, whispers spread. He was a rich CEO, someone who owned many companies and had a lifestyle that many only dreamed about. His name was Mr. Henry, and behind his calm face lay a story of success built on many hard choices. When Mr. Henry finally regained full strength, people soon learned his true identity. He was not just any man. He was one of the richest and most important business leaders in the city. In the boardrooms of tall glass buildings, he was known as a wise and tough CEO. Yet on that sweltering day by the river, he was just another person who needed help. This twist amazed everyone. Imagine thinking a person in a fancy suit who makes big decisions every day could be saved by a poor girl with simple clothes and a pure heart. It was like finding a shiny gem in an old simple box. For Mr. Henry, that day was a long, forgotten chapter until Lily came along. Her selfless act reminded him that true worth comes from compassion, not money or power. I believe that this surprising turn of events teaches us an important lesson. Sometimes our lives are full of hidden twists. You might think you know someone, but one small moment can reveal a secret that changes how you see the world. In Mr. Henry's case, his life of wealth and responsibility was transformed by one brave rescue. And for Lily, this was not the end of her challenges. Instead, it was the beginning of a future full of hope and opportunity. After the rescue, the town began to change. People talked about how one act of bravery could make a big difference. Neighbors started to help each other more, and small acts of kindness were celebrated everywhere. Mr. Henry, feeling grateful, decided to use his wealth to do good in the community. He began by setting up free swimming and water safety classes. These classes taught everyone the basic rules of water rescue, information that can save lives. Teachers used simple science ideas to explain how water moves, how currents work, and why keeping calm in an emergency is so important. Imagine learning that the water flows like a strong river of energy, and that by moving slowly and steady, you can overcome even the wildest current. That is what Lily's actions reminded everyone, a blend of nature's rules and human courage. Mr. Henry even started a special program at his company. It was called Heroes Among Us, and it celebrated everyday people who showed great kindness. Flyers were put up in every corner of town, telling the story of Lily and the day she saved a life. Children drew pictures, and neighbors shared small stories about helping one another. The idea was simple. Anyone, no matter how small or poor they seem, can change the world through simple acts of love and bravery. For Lily, life began to take on a new meaning. Before that fateful day, she led a quiet, unremarkable life, filled with small chores and simple routines. Now she became a symbol of hope. People no longer saw her as just a poor girl. They saw her as a hero. Lily's story spread in the town like a warm fire on a cold day. Teachers in school used her bravery to explain that doing the right thing sometimes means taking big risks. In every lesson about courage and kindness, Lily's act of rescuing Mr. Henry was mentioned time and again. It was a clear message. Even small hands can lift large burdens and change lives. Inspired by the outpouring of support, Lily began to learn more about how to help others. In the free classes organized by Mr. Henry, she learned about first aid, safe swimming techniques, and even the simple science behind water currents. These lessons taught her that bravery is not just about one big moment, it is also about learning, practicing, and always being ready to help. Every time she studied a new skill, she smiled, thinking of that day by the river when she made a difference. Her teachers noticed the new spark in her eyes. They explained that heroes are not born, they are made by many small choices and lots of hard work. Every math problem she solved, every book she read, and every class she attended helped build a future where she could one day help even more people. Lily's journey, which started with one courageous rescue, became a lifelong mission to give back to her community. Let's take a moment to talk about some of the ideas behind Lily's rescue. When we say drowning, it means that someone is struggling in the water because they cannot breathe properly. Water is very heavy, and when it moves too fast in a river or ocean, it can easily pull someone under. This is why water safety is so important. In water rescue, experts say that every second counts. They learn a few basic rules. Always stay calm, don't fight the current, and try to reach someone in danger as quickly as possible. Although Lily was not a trained lifeguard, her natural instincts worked just like those of a professional. She swam close to the shore where the water was a little calmer and used steady strokes to move forward. This simple science, knowing that water flows like a living force, is something even children can understand. It is a lesson in physics. Forces can be strong, but determination and knowledge make them conquerable. In the days after the rescue, many people in the town talked about how water works and why Lily's quick actions saved the day. They learned that water carries energy from one place to another, and that knowing how to work with that force instead of against it is very important in saving lives. It is like riding a bike. If you know how to balance and keep your speed steady, you can go far even on rough paths. Lily's actions showed that even in the face of nature's power, a strong heart and a calm mind can make miracles happen. Sometimes when life surprises us, it feels a bit like opening a present you did not expect. Imagine thinking that you're having an ordinary day, only to find out that someone has hidden a special treat inside a simple box, like finding an extra cookie in your lunchbox when you thought you had only one. That is what Lily's rescue was like for everyone in the town. Her brave act was the unexpected treat that made a tough day suddenly bright and full of hope. Even Mr. Henry, the rich CEO, looked at his tidy world of busy work and high offices in a new light. He saw that his life, filled with numbers and meetings, could sometimes use the magic of a kind-hearted gesture. His own world of important decisions and fancy suits was reminded that a simple act of care can be more powerful than all the money in the world. This mix-up, the man with great money and the brave girl with a pure heart, was funny in a surprising way. It is as if a superhero and an ordinary person met in the middle of a river. The ordinary person turns out to have the heart of a champion. That day, every person who saw the rescue learned something new, that the smallest actions can lead to the biggest changes. It felt a bit like when you plant a little seed, and before long a tall tree grows. In every smile, every thank you note, and every kind gesture that followed, Lily's spark of bravery lit a fire of hope in so many hearts. In the weeks after the incident, the entire town began to change for the better. A small park near the river became a meeting place where people gathered, not just to enjoy the sunshine, but to learn about water safety and community care. Mr. Henry donated money to build a small community center that taught basic rescue techniques and first aid. Bright posters decorated the walls with simple drawings of how to swim safely and what to do if someone fell into water unexpectedly. Local schools added lessons on community service and courage in their classes. Teachers explained that true strength is not in money or positions, but in how we care for each other in times of need. Children would raise their hands, excitedly pointing to pictures of Lily and asking how they too could be brave. It reminded every person in town that heroes are found all around us, hidden in the everyday acts of kindness that we sometimes overlook. At community events, people shared their own small stories of helping neighbors. The events were filled with laughter and gentle humor, like the time someone tripped and ended up laughing along with everyone else. These small moments of joy created a sense of unity. The rescue by Lily had shown that every person, no matter how simple their life might seem, has the power to make a big difference. It was a lesson in both science and life, that working with the forces around us, with love and care, turns challenges into opportunities. I believe that Lily's story is more than just an event that happened near a river on a sunny day. It is a lesson for all of us. Every act of bravery, no matter how small it seems, has the power to change someone's life. When Lily jumped into that cold, fast river, she did not think about prizes or recognition. She acted because her heart was full of kindness. And sometimes that is all it takes. In every corner of the world, there are people who feel that they have nothing to offer. But stories like Lily's remind us that even what we think is small can be the start of something big. Imagine the light of a single star shining in the dark sky. Each little star adds up to create a magnificent universe. Lily's courage was one star among many, showing that each of us can light up the world with our own kindness. There is also a technical side to learning from this story. The idea that water flows with energy and that our physical strength can be guided by simple science is something we can all learn about. Basic physics tells us that forces are constant, but so is the power of a determined heart. When you combine a bit of science with a lot of heart, miracles happen. That is why schools now talk about water safety, not just as a lesson in science, but as a lesson in life too. Every time you look at a river or feel a strong wind, remember Lily's story. Let it remind you that nature and humanity are both beautiful and powerful, and that the best adventures often start with one brave step forward. In the months that followed, Mr. Henry began to visit the town more often, not as a wealthy CEO in a fancy car, but as a kind man who remembered how a simple rescue changed everything. He walked along the same river where Lily had saved his life, always pausing to watch the water and recall that moment. He then used his success to build opportunities for young people, sponsoring events and small projects that could help others learn the skills of water safety and quick thinking. Mr. Henry's talks in local community centers always began with the same simple lesson. True leaders listen to their hearts. His words, filled with wisdom from both boardrooms and quiet riverbanks, touched many people. He explained that even in a world full of hustle and bustle, taking a moment to care for one another is the most important decision we can make. His view was that every person, no matter their age or background, can be the leader of kindness. And that is a lesson that can change the simplest day into an extraordinary one. Imagine a day when everyone, whether rich or poor, young or old, comes together and listens to the gentle lessons of the heart. That is the world Lily and Mr. Henry helped create. A world where helping out, caring deeply, and sharing knowledge can lead to unexpected and joyful surprises. Now, as we come to the end of this long journey through Lily's brave day by the river, take a moment to think about your own actions. Every small deed, every moment of caring can start a ripple of change. Whether you are helping a friend, sharing a smile, or even learning new things in school, remember that you have the power to be heroic in your own gentle way. If you enjoyed this story of courage, hope, and surprise, please hit the like button. Every like, every comment, every share helps to remind us all that kindness is contagious. And if you feel inspired by Lily's brave heart, subscribe to our channel to see more amazing stories like this one. We have many more adventures waiting for you. Stories that show that no matter where we come from, bravery and kindness can change the world. Before you go, check the video on the end screen. It tells another inspiring tale of ordinary people doing extraordinary deeds. Watch it right now to keep your heart full of hope and adventure. Your subscription and watch help our small community grow and reach many more kind souls out there. Thank you so much for spending these minutes with me. Remember, every time you choose kindness, you choose to light up the world. Stay safe, be brave, and never stop believing in your own power to make a difference. Until our next story, keep your heart open and let your inner hero shine. This is the story of Lily, the poor girl with an extraordinary heart, and Mr. Henry, the rich CEO, whose lives became forever linked by one unforgettable rescue. Let this story remind you that even in the simplest moments, miracles can happen. And you too may one day be the spark that changes someone's life. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and click on the next video on your screen. Your next adventure awaits right now.